Let's go live. Jazz, what's up, man? How are you? What's up, Nocturne? What's up, Harath? We are going to watch the Halo Infinite Forge fundamentals building, which is going to be pretty cool. Let me know how the audio sounds. Drop a like if you haven't already. This will be a fun one. Just going to go through the entire thing, break down a lot of stuff, talk about things that I hope come in the future. What impressed me, what didn't, right? Your voice scared me. I was tabbed out. It's all good. Just as long as the voice doesn't sound too loud, I think we should be fine. I'm so happy they're talking to us finally. I know, right? It's amazing. Hello, Forge, man. I can't wait till you officially get your hands on this. Yeah, officially. I plan to still do some leak stuff, but let's jump right into it. We got 30 people watching right now. What's up to everyone? Drop a like if you haven't already. Let's try to get this up in the algorithm. You know how YouTube works and all that stuff. Let me just read a couple comments here. Do you all know if we can use the enemies from the campaign like that? No, there's no AI in Forge yet. And maybe there will be in the future. Who knows? But okay, yeah, let's jump into it. Let's just not waste any time.
Hey everyone, it's Unoshek here, and welcome to our Forge video
By the way,
series.
can you
We're gonna
guys
be
hear
breaking
me
down
well
Forge
over
with some of the
the,
members of the Forge team
the video,
here
or is it
at
too loud?
343 Industries.
Just let me know.
Michael, Cliff, thanks for joining us. You want to introduce yourselves, talk about what you do here at 343?
Michael
Sure.
is such a passionate
I'm
guy.
Michael Shore. I'm the lead Forge designer. I've been here for 4 years, and
He wants Forge to be the best
I'm
that
the
it can
vision
be.
holder for Forge,
and
kind of have my hands in a little bit
he's
of
obviously doing a very
everything
good
Forge,
job.
just trying to make sure it
very
lands.
good job.
Yeah. Very cool. And Cliff?
I'm Cliff Schultz. I am one of the multiplayer level designers. I originally came from the
And
Forge
Cliff is a
community.
very
so
talented
this
dude.
is a very special moment.
I believe he did
For people who
fragmentation and a
don't
couple
know,
multiplayer
What
maps.
is
I mean,
Forge?
Forge is a game engine that ships in
his career has been
the
awesome. He came
Halo
from
Infinite
Forge.
free-to-play
Now he's
product.
actually
It'll come out this November.
working full time.
And it's basically, it's a mode where you
At
can
343,
design
which
maps,
is cool.
you can design new modes, or just new experiences that you wanna play with your friends. It's super powerful little game engine.
And what makes Infinite's version so special?
Well, we've fixed a lot of things. We've improved existing things based on community feedback.
Yeah, no,
We've added a lot of new
Michael's a
features
super
that we
passionate
wanted
guy.
and the community wanted.
And
so it's a really nice
I
package.
think
now.
Forge is really in the
That's
right
good to hear. But we
hands
don't
with him.
just
They took
wanna
so
talk
much
about it.
inspiration
We do
from
want to
Unreal
show it.
Engine.
Cliff, I know you've been working on
and
something
even their own engine,
incredible over there.
which
You
is
want to kind of walk us through what
just
you decided
awesome.
to build?
Yeah, totally. What we have here is the starting for Foundation, the campaign, but we recreated it in Forge. My goal for this
I'm
was to make an
surprised, if I'm gonna
experience
be
that's
honest.
similar to what we see in campaign, and to show off the power of what Forge can be able to achieve in this.
I'm
Prior in Halo
surprised that they
5,
showed
we could
this
only dream to do
because
something like this.
of the
So to
reception
build
that
to have
people
this
had
now
to
and
the
to be able to
hexes.
create
I thought they
these
would show something a little
very
bit more
rich environments is
like environmental
is a huge
rather than
blessing for anyone that's
Forerunner
working.
hexes. But he did a
So,
kick-ass
right
job with
now,
this. This
how'd you
looks
go
awesome.
about building this? You said earlier when we were talking before we started recording that we used a lot of
1-800
campaign
pumped.
assets.
What's up,
yeah,
Night
so the
Avenger?
cool thing
He's gonna
about,
create
you know,
probably
part
one of the
wish
coolest
list is built to
environments,
have more campaign
early on
assets.
in
so the
Forge.
team,
I'm gonna
worked a
compete with
bunch of
him for
campaign
sure.
assets and included it. So I
Night
rearranged all
Avenger's
those
so
campaign
talented.
assets
Grape Fairy,
to
what's
be
up?
able to
How are
make
you?
the foundation starting point.
You want to take us through there?
Totally.
I mean, okay, so my first initial thoughts on this entire thing right here is the lighting looks fantastic. It really does. The fact that he scaled down certain things to get different textures on the hexes and whatnot, like the gold pieces, I believe, is what he did, is super cool. I mean, Forge is everything, and Forge has everything to do with just being clever and creative. But I think they could have chose something different rather than the beginning of the campaign. But I understand why they did it though, because there has, I believe, there have been some like viral elements of, hey, this is Forge and this is campaign, and can you tell the difference? So I don't know how fast they whipped this up or if this has been a thing for a while. But yeah, I think they could have chose a different environment. Nonetheless, super sick. And I actually wanted to build a map similar to this, so it's cool to be able to see what that actually does look like. Very, very cool.
Totally.
really quick? Show us a little bit more of what you've been making and building. And this is all in Forge.
It's all in Forge. Yeah,
And
our
that's
team
nuts,
did a
dude.
great job of bringing over these campaign assets and multiplayer assets into Forge to give us a wide range of objects that players can make stuff with.
Now, scaling is the
Looks
most
so
powerful
It's-
thing,
yeah.
honestly.
It's super sexy.
Now, one thing I do want to talk about is this. No one's talking
range
about
of,
this.
of objects
but
that players can make
The
stuff
way
with.
that fog and mist and steam and whatnot interacts with lights, it just
looks so
looks
good.
so good. And the effects for the actual steam fall and whatnot, I mean, look at it.
It's super sexy.
It looks fantastic. I mean, imagine running through an infection map and like some zombie or whatever comes out from behind that. It's just awesome.
So what kind of tools helped you build this and put this creation together, Cliff?
Yeah, totally. Well, we have a bunch of different tools. The one that I used for this quite a bit was magnets. It was really great to be able to snap the hexes together to be able to get on their right grid. The other one, too, we have duplication. So
It is like a movie set. This is sick. I love the fact that we have doors and then some doors that actually animate. It's very cool. I don't know if he kit bashed this together, but it looks like they officially have like a door frame for this. I don't know in the leak build if they do or not.
since this is a lot of repeating objects, duplicating, instead of having to go and spawn in a new object, I'm able to just duplicate what I currently have and kind of rearrange the objects.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, mind showing an example?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, see, he
So if I
scaled
want to
those down
duplicate
right
this
there,
hex
I
right
think.
here, I can just simply
Yeah, that's what
duplicate
we
it,
did.
and then I'm going to snap the magnet to it, and boom.
That's real nice. And if you didn't like that addition, we also have undo redo
Yep.
for the first time.
That's
So
probably one of
if
the
I
biggest features
fat
too.
finger something or whatever,
Well, it is the biggest
I
feature.
can be able to just click undo, and it'll
Apart
go
from
back to the
scaling.
steps. Or if I want to put it back, I can hit redo.
And that's a
Yeah,
first.
when he
and
goes to the
that's
That's
door-
the first. That was a
Yes.
huge community wish
It's like
list.
a-
When I first started here, it was
Bunch of
top
assets.
of my quality of life update stuff.
It was
just
like number one.
like
you know?
anything that you use using a computer has an undo, right? So
Mhm.
it makes perfect sense.
We also have snap to the ground.
Yeah, so if I have, we'll just take one of these. I'm going to duplicate it, and if I want to put it in the middle here, instead
This
of having
is
to go and
huge
fidget
because
around,
of
I
spawn
can just
points.
tap the X button, and it will
Spawn points,
automatically
man.
snap
You'd have
the
to
ground
you would have to
for the
work so
object,
hard
which
just
has
to get
been
it
a
to.
huge blessing for spawning
be
any
flat on the
objects and
ground.
to get an understanding for the reference of
But
their
now that we
size.
have this, placing
Mhm.
spawn points
I
is
didn't
going to
even
be
think about
a
that for like
breeze.
spawn points too. When you're just
Spawns
building
are
out
See,
your
they're
map.
talking.
yes.
They're talking about it right now.
Want
Yeah.
to place it on the ground, anyways. We've got another cool feature I'd love to talk
Guys,
about.
drop a like
which
if you
is
haven't already.
Scaling.
Yeah.
If you're hyped for Forge,
So I'm going to fly
especially
out of the world here. I have some objects that I utilized
the
for
Giga
making
Grunt.
this space. So any of this stuff I can be
Yeah,
able to grab,
curfew looks awesome.
and then I can be able to scale it down, scale it upwards, or I can also scale it by per plane. So if you see here, I've grabbed this object,
Just
and
flatten
I
that thing.
have flattened it because I'm really liking the texture or the material that we have on here for this face. So for example,
So you can scale in any direction.
correct.
Forge
yeah.
is
on
like
almost any object.
Kit Basher's
Yep,
dream,
on most objects.
honestly.
So
Really nice.
I wanted this detail for the front of the hexes to replicate what we had in campaign. So the trick that I used here is I grabbed one of these pieces. And
The
then
yappening
flattened it
is-
'cause I was
is-
really in love with
It's
how
fire.
detailed
Yeah, it
the
really
front
is.
of this
I li-
wall is.
Dude, these are
Or
two
this
big
pillar.
W's
Yeah, yeah.
for
So you could
343
use
right
it
now.
as a decal, like art,
Yeah.
to art up the wall. Up next, or actually part of scaling, I know you had a few other
He
things you
didn't
wanted
delete
to
the hex
show
block,
off,
did he?
with the terrain and a certain grunty friend.
Yeah, while I'm flying over there, that we have not talked about is we can be able to move through objects now. That's something that we take for granted now.
With your monitor? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
so it's been really
It's
great.
just
So
this
we
build
make
is
it
much
an
further
enclosed environment
along
like
than
that. We don't have to fly
our
all
build
the
from
way
what it
around.
looks like.
We're able to
I mean,
fly
canvases
through
is one
objects.
thing.
It's been a huge blessing.
Yeah, no clip has been that's another one of those quality of life updates that
Yeah.
we had to add.
So So when I was doing this, one of my friends jumped into the game and was messing
you
around
imagine
with the grunt,
fighting like a
and he
massive
made
grunt
Giga
like
Grunt
this?
here. So this is this is the normal size of the grunt. And then he decided to scale it up and was messing around with me, which is pretty comical.
Yeah, and we actually showcase
The fact that the
naming of
textures
objects
actually
when you
look
highlight
so
over the
good
big one. So
for-
now you can
for
custom
as-
name
I
objects.
mean, look how scaled
throughout
up
your
that
entire
is.
Forge build.
That's
Yeah, it's been really great for
it's
like if I
insane.
have any like custom assets, and if I need to go search for it, I can be able to name
And the
it uniquely
textures,
now instead of having to be like
they
grunt
hold up.
5,000
That's nuts.
and going through a number list.
Yeah,
I wonder if the UI
you
has
can spot
been
the one that you
flipped in
know
this build
is
or if it's
GigaGrunt.
preference based.
It's also helpful. Like
it's
we'll
flipped.
talk about this a little
It's
later,
actually
but
flipped.
the budget in Forge has been
I heard
increased
about that.
Exponentially, and when you have a lot of objects, when you can name them what you want, they're easier to find, they're easier to organize. So that's another bonus there.
Yeah, just because you got more stuff to manage.
Yeah, yeah.
Better organization always
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
And then also terrain.
is,
we wanted to
The
take a
fact
look
that
at
we
when
have
you were building
7,000
something.
Yeah,
objects
so part of the scaling
is insane.
we
The
do
Zeta
have
Halo
these awesome terrain
experiences
pieces.
that
There's
I
a lot
built
of great additions
in
that terrain,
Unreal Engine
that
5
the art team has added to
and Unreal Engine
for
4
terrain.
were only like 4 or 5,000
specifically,
pieces,
we
which
can build make mountains
is
now.
just
So this
crazy
is the
to
object
think
size
about.
we're what it spawns in, and we can even make it smaller. And so
This
I
is
made,
exciting
this,
for like dirt mounds and whatnot
so
that you want to
that's the
put in the
same
corner
piece?
of maps.
That is the same piece, yeah.
So you
could
could
be a
use it as
hill
a
or it
dirt
could be a
mound.
giant
You could
mountain.
even
Yeah,
flatten
and I
that
can
thing
even make it smaller to
completely.
be
You can
like,
make it like a
I want to add
decal.
like dirt
Um,
around like a cement area.
Yeah, they're talking
like,
about it
you know,
right
like
now.
rubble.
Or you can make it a
to
mountain.
fallen apart
So
building,
it's-
whatever I want to do.
There's a
with
lot
that.
of
So
uses
that's
for one
another-
asset.
You don't have to always upscale everything. You can be able to make small set dressings in a level, which is like
Which
Yeah,
canvas
there's
is this?
there's not 4 UIs.
This
There's
is
4.
the-
Blank.
this is the blank
okay.
canvas.
4 controls.
Do you mind
Control
showing
settings.
the actual scaling up to that mountain size?
Yeah, totally.
Super cool looking. Oh my goodness.
7,000 across all
Yeah, so
platforms.
it's that same
I'm
piece,
not sure.
and that counts as one object in
Correct.
your object count.
I
Yep.
doubt it, honestly.
Yeah, lots
but
of flexibility
We'll
there.
Super useful. Yeah,
What's up,
super
Death?
useful,
Death
especially for those
Templar.
bigger maps.
see. What's up, man?
Up next, I know we wanted to take a look at arting a map.
Yeah.
And I know we have some
And the trees look
awesome work from
fantastic
the art
too.
team with
They
materials.
sway in the wind.
Yeah, so it's really
all of
cool
that.
because,
It's really
like,
cool.
Like in Halo 5, like we had pre-designated objects, and they can sometimes be limiting. Now, the cool thing about this is
How's the
we
stream
have a bunch
audio?
of different material swaps.
Can you hear the
So
video
in this
pretty
example
good?
here, this is part of our design set that we have, and I've just grabbed the block, duplicated it, and go and material swapped it. Obviously, we have like all the Forerunner materials that you see. But the cool thing about this is,
You know what would
I
be a
wanted
really
to add
good
some grime
prefab?
to it,
If
or
someone went in
scratches, or I
and
want
just
to make
had
it not
all
so
these
shiny.
different
So I can be able
blocks
to
laid
change
out,
material, and then I can also change material
kinda
and
like he
change the
has
color
here,
material.
and just bring it into your map, and then
But we also have a
duplicate
bunch
and
of
build with
unique
that.
material that is not just
So you could just like
in
go
Halo
over and
lore,
grab
like,
them,
so
and
Forerunner.
copy
So
and
we
paste
have
instead of
we
having
have
to scroll
like
through the list.
dirt, we have corrugated metal, we have cobblestone, camo. We have some silly ones like polka dots and stripes.
Like a gift wrapping. Yeah,
Totally. So if,
yeah.
I
if
could
you
see
want to
people
do a
make some
present for
crazy
your friend's
maps with
birthday, we got you covered.
the stripe and the polka dot stuff.
And then, yeah, even more like stone and brick, which is super cool. And then we can apply that on most
They need
objects,
to allow
too,
uploads
right?
of
so,
images. Dude, that would get so
here
out of
we've-
hand so
we've
quick you wouldn't even know what to do
changed
with
the
yourself.
grunt.
That,
Like I
that
think
would be
we
such a bad
someone
idea.
selected like a looks like the metal.
I get the
like
the
the
desire
corrugated
for
metal
it, but
like on top of a shack or something.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Look, the stuff you see like in
I
Bizarre.
was really impressed by this
we
material
pulled
actually
from
because
there.
of the fact that
So they changed it along. They changed the.
there's
with
just
the
so
color
many of
it.
them. So
You
many
normally
of them.
think these spawn in like just a default purple that the grunt has.
Kind of insane.
Could you walk us through a few of
Totally.
those options? Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a couple different things. So yeah, metal corrugated. So if I want to go through and change the material, I can do that, or we can go through the list as well too. Same thing with the color. We can build to select whatever color that we want to do.
Wish they showed adding
kind of
water
updated.
planes and
Now
maps.
there's also
There's no
different
water in
regions that we
Forge
want,
from
so
what
if
I
we want to change the grunt
understand.
body, we can do that as well.
Hopefully they add that in the future. I want to see water planes.
you
I
have
want to
all
see
those
dirt and
options
grime
for
decals.
Pretty much all those objects.
You know,
totally,
I want
all
to see
the
stuff
time.
like that.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
But you
Including
do
the
have
Giga
a
Yes.
canvas
Including the
called
Giga
the Wetlands canvas, and
I
that
wanted
has a
to dive
ton
in. We
of
did
water
see
in
the
it,
Forge menu
so
just
you could
now
build a map
as
around
you
that,
kind of going
and
through those
you should be
color
good.
options. We've got the object browser and lots of other cool stuff, and it's all organized in a little bit of a new fashion from Halo
Totally.
5.
Yeah, a little bit. One of the key things that we added to the object
What do you
browser
mean
this
by
time
can you
around was the
connect one
ability
Forge
to
map to
preview the
another?
object before you place it. So now you can see the size of an object. You can see the colors it has.
That's actually a huge deal.
Previously in Halo 5, it was just a green box, right?
Mhm.
And so this to us is a big improvement there.
That is a big improvement. Really
and
is.
Oh,
you know, all of these objects
They look
are,
so good
because of
scaled up
scaling,
at any
all
size.
these objects
That's
are,
such a feat.
we don't need to have different size variants. So while we have thousands of objects in the browser, we don't need to bloat the browser with size variants of each one.
Yeah. Is that a red party cup there?
Yep. Yep.
They should put
For
the
the
cup in
grunt?
the grunt's hand
Yeah.
right now.
Scale it up to the Giga Grunt
The
size.
Giga Grunt needs a drink.
Thirsty.
The Forge, Joshua says the Forge
In
Showcase
addition
spent
to the Forge
first part of the video
menu, we
talking about
also have
features we
some
already had in Halo
radial
5, only a
menus
handful of things
for
were
the
shown up in
actions and
scaling
tools.
text.
Correct.
Yeah, I
dude,
mean,
yes.
but
Yeah, so we
things look
like,
significantly
with
better.
some
We
of
have a
these
lot
new
more,
features,
you know,
we had to
assets.
figure out where they were going to fit in a
So,
control scheme.
so yeah,
And the
it's pretty good.
logical
Can you hear the person talking
solution
in the
to that
background,
was
guys?
to
By the
have
way,
radio
just
prefabs.
curious.
Obviously, we don't have a lot of objects or a lot of options on that radio menu right now, but it's designed to expand as we expand our Forge functionality in the future.
Nice. And Cliff, we just saw you make a prefab. For folks who don't know, what is a
All right,
prefab?
let's see.
Yeah, so a prefab, for example, on my
Node
map,
graph is a huge
I have a
change.
prefab already set up, which was really useful setting up all that detailed layering because how the hexes are built. So I saved that.
It's pretty cool that he kept
But the
that.
cool thing too is if you want to share them, you can be able to bookmark.
They're a bit
prefab.
loud.
So
I'm a little quiet.
I
Okay.
have one of the forgers, Max Extra, has made like this really awesome hollow table. So
Can you guys hear me better now?
I asked you if I
That's
could
great. I haven't
prefab
seen
it, and
It's really
This is so
yeah,
damn
really,
cool,
really
dude,
clever.
that
So
there's
he,
like a
used
little
effects
target up
and,
there.
like I think a satellite
That's pretty
dish,
cool.
and like there was another object for the base.
Only
of it.
thing I don't like is that
But yeah,
It
so
looks
that's been really
unfinished.
useful. So like if you
Like
make
there's
something
two sides
unique
that are
we don't
missing.
offer in our objects, you know, let's say if I made this race car.
I don't
I'd
know
be
if
able
it's meant to be a
prefab that,
square or
and I'd be
not,
able to
but
save it
yeah.
for future maps.
Looks
Or if
cool.
I want to make another city map or give it to someone that might need to use it for their map, that is now a great feature that we have.
So it's a group cluster of objects
Correct.
that you can then save as that group. And then
There's
share
going to be
with
so many
friends.
cool
Right.
prefabs, man.
Yeah, you can save it
That's going to
locally to
improve
your
maps
map,
in a huge
or
way.
you can save it to your files.
I'm
to
thinking
use
of
it
just
in other
making like a
maps,
bunch of
and/or
prefabs
to share it with your
and having the
friends,
community just
or
be able to
share it
download that
public.
stuff because
So you make an
Um,
awesome gingerbread house that I want to use on
it's
my map.
it's so
Right.
cool to be
I
able to
can
just
copy
see
it
your stuff in
if
other
you make
people's
a prefab.
maps.
Very cool.
And there's a
Uh,
copyright system
We
in
also
Forge
on the
too, I
radio
think,
menus
or
have, a little bit
um,
of what else do we have on there?
it's
Yeah.
essentially
got
just
Node
so that
Graph,
people can't steal your stuff.
We've got the build menu, and we've got quick save.
So you always know where
Nice.
it came
and,
from.
And the build menu, don't want to dive too deep in on that, but you can now kind of customize what aspect of the Forge map.
What's
you
up,
wanna
Crad? Love your
Right,
content.
So
Just
we've inherited
just
a lot
found
of
it this
features
week. Thank
from
you
the
so much. I
Subspace engine,
appreciate that.
which
Thanks
was
for
the
being here.
foundation of Halo Infinite, and so the way lighting and
So you can build lighting, nav mesh, you can build audio, and then reflection volume. So building audio is pretty damn cool. Not sure if that was a thing in Halo 5 or not, but that's pretty sweet. Dude, the reflection volumes are going to be
audio and nav
huge.
mesh and reflection volumes work is you have to build that data, and so where you go to build that data is the build menu.
Copy
We'll
/ edit
explore
protection.
that,
Yes, that's what it
at a
is.
later date, won't we?
Cool. Yes, we will.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did have Node Graph. I saw you had popped
Yep.
up there. We've got that coming up in our next video.
AI
We'll talk about
pathing
scripting,
for
and
bots at the
we did
moment, but
mention just the fact that
possibly
we've
in
got
the
so many
future
inputs,
AI.
that's
That
why
would
we
be very
decided
cool.
To go radial menus. We have multiple control schemes
Mhm.
for controller, correct?
Yeah, I think we have 4.
I think it's
different
for bots
control
for right now,
schemes.
but
Um,
At a
we've
later
got a
date, I would
default
love to
one,
see
we've got a
AI.
Default alt, I believe. That
Guys, if you haven't
switches
already, drop a
the
like.
up and down buttons because that was some concern.
I appreciate
to
it.
some
You know,
people.
feeds
Then we've
the
got legacy one
YouTube
that kind of
algorithm thingy
is as
that
close
no
as
one
we could get to
understands.
the Halo 5 control scheme as we could. And there's one more, and I forget which one
Yeah,
it is.
copy and
But-
edit
but plenty
protection
of
is
options
huge.
So players can find one that feels best for them as
Yeah.
they're making maps.
Absolutely.
All right, so now I want to take some time and dive in on a Forge Council members map right here.
Okay, first off, right out the bat, this is sick. In terms of lighting, I wish we would see something that's a bit more involved with like an actual organic environment. This just reminds me of Plaza from Halo 5. There's nothing wrong with it because it's a beautiful map.
It's
I
called
think it's very
Curfew,
cool.
and it was arted by Sica Mechanico.
It's
And
pretty dark,
he
but
took this and made it stunning, right?
it
Yeah.
is stunning. It
Well,
looks
this
sick.
is,
I
mean,
love it.
literally dripping with vibe here. This is just gorgeous. I can't believe he whipped this out in a pretty short time, as I understand it.
I wonder
all
what that
forged.
short time
Oh, this is all forged.
Yeah.
How long
100%
this actually
forged.
took him.
Just really gorgeous. I love this kind of, like I said, this just the fog, like the kind of cyberpunk vibe.
All the extra detail.
Yeah.
I love what he did with the
Exactly.
And
barrels.
if we wanted to break
super
down
cool.
this map and kind of reverse engineer it, we actually have a really cool tool right there. You can see on the bottom center of the screen, the object detail panel.
Yeah, so basically, wherever you hover your cursor, the object details panel just gives you data about that object, right? So we're looking at this wreckage hole box.
That's a really
A,
that's a cool
um,
feature.
And you can tell that it's a static object versus dynamic. You can set that the physics has been set
And
to
it's
phased,
huge that
and then you can see
they have
where it's
static
rotated,
objects in
how
this
it's been
forge
rotated
because
from its
in Halo
default,
5
and,
it was all
what the size
dynamic from what I
values are. So at a
understand.
glance, you can just go.
Which
There's
is
you wanna fly
why
around
it
show off,
lagged
like, how
so
how
badly
many
when you
different
just put
objects
1600 objects down.
Sica Mechanico used here.
Like if you
Yeah,
actually
there's
maxed out a
tons
map,
of
it was
detail,
horrible.
Tons of different objects.
Yeah, he's at like 65% of the budget.
Something like this to achieve this.
The fact
quality
that
of
this is at
level, I think every
65%.
forger that gets to this, they cry because it gets to a point where they drop their frames.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they had to start.
That was the
dissecting their
worst
map
thing in
and
Halo
reducing
5
it.
is that
we always cried
my
over
maps
that.
would always just
So
But
this
that's
is,
not the case.
this is
crash
not the case
or-
anymore. Like,
or,
to get,
you know,
this is amazing. Like he's only at
it's just
65
you had to limit
and
your
this very
creativity so
rich
much.
environment.
Yeah.
And Cliff, you wanted to show off one aspect that you
I mean, look at this. I love, first of all, he's really talented, but I just love how everything looks here.
thought was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
It feels
so
immersive,
The
which
thing
is
about
huge.
Forge, like anyone's asked us in the past, was like, how do you make a good Forge map?
He said dripping
To, like,
with
take it to the
vibe.
next level. Don't use objects as they are intended, and use them in a unique, interesting way. So like, something
that's
that
the
we
key
had
to
a hard
Forge, is just
time
being
is to
clever.
do small set dressing in Halo 5. Now the cool thing that I saw Sigma Mechanic would do is he has a flaming barrel and he has like this looks like trash, but what it really is he's made this terrain piece and shrunken it down to make that trash, which we don't.
That's
have,
so
we didn't
awesome.
have this
I
type of
love it,
stuff
dude.
in
That's why I love
Halo
Forge
5.
so much.
To make
'cause
this
it's
scene
just-
more believable, he's made objects and manipulated them into something
just so
different than they're not
Kibashi.
intended, which I think is really awesome.
And that's one of those terrain pieces that we saw that could become its own
Correct,
mountain
yeah.
and hill,
So-
but he squished it down into a trash can. To
Yeah, so when
detail
I was
the
looking at like the
flaming
It's
trash.
yeah, it's
terrain,
definitely a cool
'cause I
map
was
for
like,
sure.
Oh, like how did he get grass in there? Like holy cow! I'm like, wait a minute, this is a terrain piece. Like, wait, what?
Really.
Only
clever,
thing is,
really
dude,
clever.
so
Uh,
when I look at this map, if I could just say anything,
we were
let me see if I
mentioning
can find
that-
a point real quick.
He is still
Um,
only at 65% of his budget.
Let's
right?
see.
We've had some budget improvements.
The only thing
and
I
we've expanded the total.
this
budget,
looks like
right?
trash.
Total object count and
Oh,
stuff like
that's-
that.
Yeah,
got
Halo
it, got it,
5
got it.
was
Making a joke.
1,600 objects.
Let's see.
The most you could put in right now. With this version of Forge, we're
See, like this
at around 7,000 objects.
this right here is kind of like what makes a map look like a Forge map, in my opinion. I think what would be really cool is like even if you took one of the terrain pieces and just scaled it down and made it really flat, and then put it at the ground right here. A friend of mine, Caleb Negamanesh, he always used to bug me about decals, and it's true, they're a huge deal. Imagine if you had like dirt and grime decals right on the edges right here. That would make this space feel and like up above and all around. You know, if we had that stuff in Forge, dirt and grime, that would pull this entire scene to like a whole nother level. It would make everything blend and be far more believable. But that's just my opinion. That's something that I want to see in the future. I think as for now, you could just take some of the terrain pieces, scale them down to almost flat, so there's like a little bit of, there's some, whatever. It looks like maybe there's some rubble instead of just being like a flat plane of grime. But that definitely needs to be a
Objects that you can
thing.
place.
Because even like with this right here, it looks too clean. I know it's the interior, but this place looks like it's, I don't know. It's like Cyberpunk, right? So I would imagine some grime and all that around. It'd be cool.
So yeah, huge improvement there. It's yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that kind of throws it off for me.
Yeah, I
That's-
don't know what else to say about
yeah.
it. It's just so massive.
Yeah, you're helping unlock some.
You do have dirt and grime on objects, but I'm talking about like in specific locations, like right on the edges right here. Just to be able to blend these two assets together, the floor and the ceiling, or this this wall piece or this door piece together. I think that would be huge.
Untap some new potential.
This right here is sick. I love the fan and the falling fog or steam, how that's lined up perfectly with this. I mean, the guy did such a good job with this map. And then these are decals, I believe, just right on top, these yellow strips.
For sure.
And one benefit of how we now like render objects is when they're static, they don't have quite the same like performance impact that they used to in Halo 5.
Yeah, now that we have
Dude, the biggest thing, by the way, guys, can we get to, let's see if we get to 100 likes. The biggest thing in this Forge is the fact that people are not glowing anymore. In Halo 5, if you built a dark
we
map
have static objects
like this,
and dynamic objects. For reference, every object.
oh, hold on, actually, this is a really big point. Let me say my thing real quick. The fact that he's not glowing is huge. That means you could actually make believable, scary Forge maps for Infection. It's a big deal.
Halo 5.
But listen to
now
what he
that we
says here.
have,
This is
you know,
awesome.
we have static objects and dynamic objects. For reference, every object in Halo 5 was a dynamic object, which meant that the engine was thinking about that object every frame, right? Which is why we had a relatively low budget. Now with static objects, they're basically just geometry that the player and grenades and stuff collides with, and so like the engine doesn't have to think about static objects every frame, right? So it gives us the chance to put a lot more of those objects in the scene because the engine is not overburdened in that regard.
Like, this room looks great, but just imagine if it had, I don't know, the dirt and grime thing. I hope if any of you guys are on the Forge team or watching this right now, I hope that's a priority for you guys in the future. I don't know how hard that would be to actually implement, but that would be so cool. It's because you could pull this entire scene together. It already looks awesome for a Forge map. I'm just thinking that could be one of the biggest improvements for something that I don't think would take that much time to implement. Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
That is fantastic. to
Yeah.
hear. But I think that's going to do it overall.
I mean, yeah, look at this. He scaled up that sign. This is like a whole... This is so cool that only... I mean, he just duplicated this, I think. Doom. But
All for us today.
these skyscrapers...
Taking our first look at Forge in Halo Infinite. Thank you so much for spending
He
some
actually
time
posted a
with me today,
video.
guys.
Absolutely.
Do you have any closing words as we kind of wrap up?
He posted a
I'm
video
just
about this
super
because
excited to see
this map was actually made in Halo 5, and he remade it
what
in
the community
Infinite.
does with this.
So we
I've already
can
seen
go
a
watch some
bunch
of that
cool
stuff in a second.
Official and unofficial.
Yeah.
I feel like he's referencing it to me, Red Nomster, Death Templar, all the people that have the Forge stuff.
And it's just fantastic. So I can't wait for this to be out in the public and see what everyone does.
Me coming from the
7,000
community
objects is
and
massive.
coming internal and shipping the game, I traded like the surprise of the game being revealed your first day or whatever, right? The thing for me, my first day reveal is when forgers get these maps and make something new. Something that I did not have my hands on and get to experience something brand new. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, there's no more surprises.
No,
for
there's
you.
no
more
dude, that's-
Anymore, like, surprised by what people
Yeah,
build.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
I don't want to know the end of the campaign. Yeah, forget about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much again for joining us, and
Yeah, dude, this
everyone else,
was
thank
this
you
was
for
awesome.
watching, and we will have.
So, just to give you some context, right? Like, you saw the Forerunner stuff here, right? Yeah, let's check this out real quick. So, if you look at the Forerunner stuff here, and then you go over to... This is Halo 5, right? Like, watch this. Look at this. So, this was, like... So yeah, check this out, look. That is Oh, hold on. Whoops, my bad. That is what a Forerunner map looked like in Halo 5, and that's what it looks like in Halo Infinite. That is freaking nuts. I mean, that is such a huge difference. So once again, just so you can see, Halo 5, Halo Infinite.
Part of scaling, I know you had a few other things
It's
you wanted to
pretty
show off,
crazy,
with the
honestly.
terrain and a certain grunty friend.
So yeah, and then if we look at other stuff here, like this was also remade in Infinite in the Leaf build, which was pretty cool. But I mean, that is such a stark difference. If we look at, like, dude, if I even go to my own account real quick, and then I show you some of the stuff that I was making before, I'll show you one of the things that I definitely want to remake first, which is the Doom map. Now, look at the lighting that
We saw
Forge
that it
has
becomes
now,
so
right? And then if you look at, where is it? It's down here somewhere. Where is Doom? So if you look at this is the Doom map that I built like a couple years ago, or a year ago. Oh God, a couple years ago. What the hell? I mean, imagine a map like this, but with Halo Infinite's lighting. It's just gonna be insane. Except this time you're gonna have a far better layout, because I know what I'm doing now a little more than I did back then. But yeah, this would be one of the first maps that I remake, and everyone loved this one, so yeah, that'll be the first one. And let's see. Yeah, that map was insane, but just the lighting
yeah,
gets me so
We've
excited
pushed it
about
down
this,
into
honestly.
potential for sure.
This in general, like I said, once again, I've had the dirt and grime and all that little details just to be able to blend everything together. I would not be able to tell the difference. But right now, there's like a few things just from looking at this that makes it look like a Forge map, but that's not to take away from the creator. I mean, this is freaking awesome. And I would hope that I'd be able to build, you know, interiors or architecture that looks this good. Yeah, so there's just a lot. One of the big things that I definitely wanted to do is I wanted to remake a battle royale. I don't know if you guys remember this or not. But yeah, see, this was a big issue in Halo 5. Objects would turn black and all that. Imagine a map, like a BR map in Infinite. I mean, it's just, between the two forges, it's just
sure.
completely
And
night and day.
One
It's
benefit
nuts.
of how we now like render objects is when they're static.
Now
they
I gotta
don't
play the
have
Doom
quite
soundtrack.
The same like performance impact that they
I can
used
do
to
that.
in Halo 5.
Yeah, now that
But even look at this stuff. I'm actually hoping with the 7,000 object limit. Disney. Forge Labs did a video on, I think, Duquesne's map back in the day, in 2017, where essentially Duquesne built Forge World. Like,
Forge map, and this
this is insane.
This is Forge.
And keep in mind, this entire thing was built with, within, I think, 1,600 objects. I don't know if he used all of it or not, but
in Halo 5 by Duquesne
to think that we could use
A lot of
2,000 or
people
3,000
really want Forge World
of the
to
budget
return
to be able to
Halo 5
build
as Forge
a
campus,
Forge
and
World,
while I can't say
and
I
then
was
still
one of
have
those
enough
people,
to build
I
on
have
top
to
of it
applaud
is
Duquesne for actually doing
crazy.
this. As you run around the canvas,
Absolutely
it legitimately feels
crazy.
like you are on Forge World.
So Duquesne, if you're watching this, I want to see this
Both in
remade.
terms of the look and the scale, it feels
Only thing is, it doesn't look like, and from what I understand, we're not going to get the water canvas. This was Title in Halo 5. I don't think we're going to get that in Halo Infinite's Forge right away, but we will at some point. So
just as big as the original, and I think Duquesne did a pretty good job of making sure that.
hey,
it
thank you,
transferred
man.
over nicely.
Appreciate it.
I know he spent a ton of time on this. Obviously, there are areas that feel a little bit empty, like the cave in the Colosseum, but that is due.
Yeah,
to the
no,
fact
it's
that
sick.
this
Dude, you
requires
did
so many
such.
Forge objects that
Hold on 1 second. Forge or curfew.
But we
So,
have,
watching this, by the way, I want to get your thoughts since you're in here, Sika.
you know, we have static objects and
This
dynamic
map
objects.
looks
For
freaking
reference,
sweet.
Every object
Uh,
in Halo 5 with
Only question is like, and you're on the council, so I'd love if you bring this up.
for reference.
When I look at like where the floor meets the walls and all that, I've been talking about this for a little bit now, but it'd be great to have some dirt and grime decals. I think that
Every
would take your
object in Halo
entire
5 was a
map to like the next level.
dynamic
But
object,
this is-
which meant that the
Could you actually send me on Twitter real quick the video that you did? Let me actually go look at this. There's a video that you did that basically showed what your map looked like back in. Let me go to your account here. I'll follow you real quick. So this right here is really cool. You could actually see the difference between Halo 5 and Forge, Halo Infinite's Forge. I mean, look at this. That's insane. I'd blow it up larger, but it's mind-blowing. Yeah, I know you can't say much, but the thing is, I think it would be great if we had dirt and grime decals to be able to kind of blend everything in and whatnot. I think that would just be one of the biggest things that I would say the map needs. Overall, I mean, it's just such a sick map. I think the lighting is cool. I want to see the skybox more. It kind of sucks that they didn't show that much, but on November 8th, I'm assuming you're probably going to put this out right away, right? But no, that's awesome. See, this is all right. So this is my art station. This was some of the stuff that I did. See, some objects would actually disappear out here. I was trying to mess around with like the sunset vibe and an alpine forest and whatnot. But I can only imagine a shot like this in Forge now would be crazy. This one as well. And then I'll show you guys Recharge next. But there's a lengthier look on Xbox Era YouTube channel. Cool. We'll go check that one out then. Go to Xbox Era and watch that. I'll watch it after this. Had some of the best looking maps during Halo 5. I think it was ahead of its time in terms of aesthetics. Yeah, I mean, it was really good. So this was just some of the stuff that I did in there's like a winter biome. This was hilarious. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but this was the whole Recharge thing that me and a couple forgers, I think it was Redacted, worked on. And this was I think this is pretty close to what the final map actually ended up looking like in Infinite, which was just so sick. On the decals front, I can't say what exists, but I can say only it's 65% budget. And yeah, it'll be in my final share on November 8th. Well, that'll be awesome. And I'm looking forward to that because that's going to make that map look even better than it already looks.
obviously some areas were
I was talking about this.
be left a little lackluster. So the problem
See,
that this
what he
map-
said right here,
obviously
listen.
some area, the cave in the Colosseum, but that is due to the fact that this required so many Forge objects that
See, what's cool though is that Duquesne can go in, this madman, and he can recreate Forge World. And even if you just said out of the 7,000 object limit, if you put only, let's say like 3,000 down or 3,500 down to be able to build out the entire thing and make it look magnificent. And the fact that you have scaling too doesn't mean that you need to use all these different pieces as, you know, you don't have to use individual pieces to cover this entire landscape. You could put a base one down and then you could put maybe like 2 or 3 or 4 different hills throughout here. Probably need more. Then you could have some hills on the side here to make it look like the train's actually edging up against these rocks. You can make it look really cool and immersive and real, and still have enough to give people to the ability to forge their own maps on top of it. So it's like a forge map within a forge map, which is crazy.
So the problem that this map presents is that the point of it is new. The solution
And then also the water effects too. I don't know how I've been able to create, and Unique's been able to create some pretty cool stuff in Forge in terms of like waterfalls. But
For this is that you can
yeah,
delete
we'll
whatever
see.
section of Forge World you don't want to use.
See, but that right there is something that you don't have to do anymore. You basically can just use the entire thing, right? And that's just awesome. So essentially, whoever does Forge World first, I can't wait, and God bless you. That's going to be awesome.
And then build your map in the section that you do want to use, and that should give you enough budget to build whatever you want to make. But if you're not interested,
A super detailed Blood Gulch would be really cool. Let me show you one other one that I did. Now, here's something cool. I want to show you guys this. Now, this looks really shit, mind you, but I had no idea what Halo Infinite looked like or anything at the time, but I thought it would be really cool if you kind of played within an area of the ring that kind of got like shot out into the sky, and there's like this whole thing with like, look how bad this is. I had to do what I had to do, right? This is funny looking back at this stuff, but you know, having floating hexes in the sky with landscape and whatever on top of it, I want to do something like that in Infinite, and see how immersive I could actually make it now. It's just funny looking back at this stuff. Let's see. This one's really cool. If anyone, maybe I'll do it myself, I don't know, but if anyone remakes like a Guardian like they had in Halo 5, this was an idea that we had, which was essentially, what if we turned a Guardian into an arena, like an actual arena map, and underneath it was like all this gravitational stuff. I was choked there. But yeah, it was like this whole crazy idea. None of it really makes sense, but in concept it's cool. So you could fly through the middle of the Guardian. And yeah, just basically fight throughout the entire thing. Mind you, we didn't really know much about what we were doing, but they were just so much fun, man. And you could like climb on the top of them, like this whole section right here. So yeah, that was another one. This was actually based on, I don't know if you guys have seen this one or not. It's just so funny looking back at this stuff. But this was based off this was built 2 days, 48 hours after the Halo Infinite campaign reveal. And my name back in the day used to be Blitzers. Can you manipulate gravity? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they had that in Halo 5. So I just had like all these different shots and whatnot of things that we saw in the trailer. Like square hexagons. Hexagons back then used to take 6 pieces to make, so I couldn't use all of that. Had to delete all of this grass because that grass would not work. It would make everything really choppy. But yeah, you know, a lot of these maps are just not great. But however, this beginning shot, I would imagine in Halo Infinite's Forge would look sick. Let's see. The legendary Reparant Zombies has arrived. What's up? How's your night? My night's going good. But yeah, there's so much. Another one that I did. So here, hold on. Which one was this? Oh, okay. No. If we go to like, I remade Death Island in like, I think 24 hours. This is just in one day. I uploaded this at 480p, so that's great. But yeah. So if I redo any of these, it'll be just great to know that you could actually make it look awesome. And these were super fun for Halo 5, but Infinite's just gonna take it to another level. Yeah. So let's see. What else do we have? Oh, this was Recharge. Or actually, hold on. I have to show you something from RPod. This right here. These I did like this Forge feature. Look at this. Imagine this in Halo Infinite's Forge, man. This would be crazy. This looked exceptionally good for Halo 5. RPod did a very, very good job. Yeah, I thought this was probably one of the coolest maps in Halo 5. Just super alien. You could walk on all of those little vines and whatnot. It was really, really cool. But yeah, let's see what else we got. Oh, I remember I made the Halo Infinite title screen in Forge. So this is Halo 5 Forge, obviously. That was cool. I'm just excited for just being able to see everyone else's remakes, you know? Like Duquesne's race maps, man. Or a map like this. I was actually looking at this recently. This was like an abandoned looking, kind of like post-apocalyptic map. And with all the details and the different materials that you have in Forge, just with the fog and the lighting, it's just going to be nuts. I mean, this is a pretty cool looking map for Halo 5, but sorry, burped. Just imagine this in Infinite, you know? Crazy stuff. And this was made by who? Who is this made by? Hold on a second.
Apocalyptic City. The track itself is pretty.
Let's see who this is made by.
The remaining by Noble Forger is a race.
Noble Forger. I mean, this is just awesome stuff. Let's see what else we got. I want to show you the Recharge one. So, Hydro. This was actually Recharge. I don't know if you guys remember this or not. But this is a map that I made with in collaboration with a couple other forgers, where I tried to guess essentially what Recharge was going to look like in Infinite before Infinite came out or anything. I built the entire map off of like 2 screenshots and I think a trailer, and that was it. But all of these maps, I mean, just to show you the ideas or how much creativity people have had in Halo 5, shows you just how much content and just how cool the content will be and believable, immersive the content will be in Infinite. So in the next 2 months, things will actually really start to shift. But yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
So yeah, that was that. I think we got pretty close. This was another map. I was trying to mess with the lighting on the desert map in Halo 5's Forge. And I thought this one looked pretty cool, but seeing the reflections in Infinite, a map like this would be pretty sweet. Yeah, I just can't wait to see what people are going to be able to make in Infinite. Everything looks very flat, you know. Yeah, so a lot of really good stuff coming. Now, see, something like this is what I want to do. I want to be able to have a map with like crazy in-game events like this. Me, Night Avenger, Joe Valiant, like a bunch of people are all just messing around in Forge, trying to come up with this like glassed, Covenant glassed reach area or something like that. And we actually had this huge Covenant ship shoot down at people like this. It would affect you and everything, which is just insane. And I hope that sound effect comes back, because that was a sick one. There's just so much stuff. Any tips on how to be a good forger? I forged a lot in Reach because I found it relaxing and enjoyable, but my maps are pretty bad and bare bones. I stopped forging since the Infinite, but Infinite reignited the flame. You just want to practice, and you just want to get around other forgers to get feedback and constantly play test and iterate upon what you've done, and just be very open to learning. This is in Halo Reach. I made like an infinite styled map using like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it was like 5 different pieces to make the hexes. But this was really, really cool. This was fun. I built this with Joe Valiant, just messing around in Forge. I think just in one day we built this. It looks like we built it in one day, but at the same time, it was definitely a lot of fun to play on. Let's see what else we got. So yeah, we did that. Let's see what else we got. This one right here is really cool. You got to work with what you got in Forge, but it's about using your surroundings as well. So I used the big waterfall in Forge World to make this cool area. Unfortunately, never really turned this into a map, but I got busy. Now, let's see. So this is a H2A map. I don't know why I put this cringe thing right here, but yeah, this was cool. It was like my first H2A map that I did. I can tell, like, I would tell you right now, this whole river thing with the rocks and whatnot, I would never do that again, just because it's horrible for traversing. But in terms of just like messing around with it and whatnot, these are all relatively quick builds, but these were so fun to play on. Just a big circular map. Anyway, point is, Forge is just gonna be nuts.
About that object every frame, right? Which is why.
I mean, look at this, dude. It's so crazy. I like how he scaled down. I think this is a billboard. He scaled that down. He's got the tarp hanging off. I think he scaled down these monitors as well. It's just awesome, man. There's just so many cool things in here.
Static objects, they're basically just geometry that the player and grenades
make a
and stuff
Forge
provides
World
with.
prefab
So,
on release. Well, you could
the
just make
engine
Forge
doesn't
World
have
and
to
then
think
be able to
about static
download it and build on
objects
top
every
of it.
frame,
You know.
right? So it gives us the chance to put a lot more of those objects in the scene.
The water
because
droplets
engine
are
is not
awesome.
overburdened in that regard.
Yeah, man, he did such a good job with that. It gets me hyped. I wish they would just release that right now. What else did we have? Oh, I did like a Speed Forge once, which was kind of cool. Once again, more hexes. This is kind of what I came up with at the end. Yeah, so I want to be able to see, I want to be able to see more in terms of lighting for Forge. They're gonna do a whole breakdown for that, so I'm really, really stoked about that. But to give you another idea of what,
Did you ever live?
so like of a Forerunner type build or interiors, that you have this one right here, right? It's kind of based off of that one shot that you saw in Infinite. Uploaded this at 480p once again. But then you look at that, which people back in the day where they were like, wow, that looks awesome. That's like total crap compared to this.
Huge community wish list.
It's such a big deal how much has changed in Forge, honestly. What else do we got? I don't think I actually built anything else. You know what I'm really looking forward to is this right here. This guy, or I go to any Forge community, I see things being you guys want to. This guy actually built like
or simple script, but
he built a full-on like campaign mission, right? Where you actually had sentinels like shooting at you and whatnot. This was built in Halo 5's Forge, and this was like a mini campaign mission. And this was possible in Halo 5's Forge, which is what's so crazy. I'll go up a little bit. So yeah, like if you go into this room,
is actually inspired by the Halo Infinite screenshot that we got like a few months ago. I think when it was covering Zeta Halo. Yeah, this area, this room is really cool, and this is when.
It's just crazy. I'm listening to myself talk and cringing, but I don't know how he did this, but he used a lot of the bodies and whatnot. Although they were static and just standing in one place, he built a campaign mission in Forge, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, this was made by Venom Symbios or Symbitos. I just thought this was really, really impressive. And if this stuff was possible in Halo 5's Forge, that means it's most definitely possible in Halo Infinite's Forge. But yeah, they shoot at you and everything, which I thought was really, really cool. And then at the end, you know, you have like all these different puzzles that you have to go through, and then you actually fight. You fight a Guardian, which is insane. And this was all done in Halo 5, right? I mean, and then he has a shield, so you can't shoot him right now. And then when the shield goes away, then you can blow him up and all that. Here, let's see. But yeah, you see? You shoot him. And then that's that. I mean, dude, that's sick. The fact that he was able to build that in Halo 5's Forge tells me that people will most definitely be able to do that in Halo Infinite. Now, something that I do want to do is I do want to build a map. Or first of all, I want to do a Warthog run, that's for sure. But I was also thinking about, see, I did this with
What's up, guys?
Halo.
So since it's the
Halo 3 mod tools. I built this a year ago. That's so crazy. But I turned Guardian to like a flood infected thing, right? The FOV on this is insane. Holy crap. But yeah, doing something like this, man, if I take Unique's Guardian and then turn it into like a full flood infected thing, that would be crazy. So I'm really looking forward to that. Another thing that I did in Unreal Engine 5 was I built this type of scene, which was like the interior of like a Forerunner structure broken up by some hexes leading into an exterior space. Building something like that, I think, would be really cool. Imagine traversing through the interior of a Forerunner structure, just being in the Pacific Northwest or in some snowy biome. I think that could be really cool. But yeah, just the overall differences between Halo Infinite and just, I mean, like, here, if we type in Halo 5 Forge Infection, right? What we're gonna see is we're gonna see some maps that hopefully are, or actually, hold on one second. What was it? It was Predator, right? Predator. Let's see. Yeah, so this was made by Night Avenger. He, in my opinion, is one of the best forgers. But dude, imagine something that looks like this, but with the lighting and the overall feel of Infinite. It's just gonna be crazy. Let's watch this real quick. Didn't I subscribe to him? Hold on. There you go. I mean, dude, just imagine this in Infinite. This shot right here. Like, I don't think people understand just how talented the people were in Halo 5. Like, it's actually insane. Yeah, just crazy.
What's going on, guys? My name is Night Avenger, and today we're looking at Predator, a map made by myself, along with a custom game type, the Jungle Moved. It's an infection-based game type with 12 players, 1 Predator and 11 survivors over the span of 10 6-minute rounds. The Predator is completely randomized, so most of the people in the lobby will
Yeah,
actually
Predator
get the
music is
opportunity to
awesome.
play the
Absolutely awesome.
Now, if you're unfamiliar with
I
the
played this
concept
map,
of
dude.
Predator,
It's
then here's a brief
freaky.
rundown of what to be
It
expected.
really is freaky.
You'll play as the Invisible Hunter with high health and shields, along with increased movement speed and jump height.
Yeah, the
To
atmosphere
counteract
is
those
just
powerful attributes, I've
just
increased
sick.
the amount of time it takes for the Predator to regain both health and shields. The Hunter has been equipped with a binary rifle and a railgun. Both
Yeah, dude, this is sick. Because the fact that it's just, dude, so much thought went
really
into this.
powerful weapons,
And I
but
hope he
with much
remakes
slower
this.
reload speeds. The Predator is pretty strong, but he can still bleed. And as most of us know,
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
against the ultimate hunter blow.
Let's see if we put some
Enjoy this.
gameplay in here.
Watch.
Alright, yeah, so let's watch this. Check this out. Yeah, dude, it's so sick. And these types of atmospheres will just look amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, this was Beaver Creek, so. Well, first we have an ad from Lightyear. Okay. Night of the Mantis. No, I don't want that. So yeah, Beaver Creek. I mean, this is going to be one of the big ones that people definitely want to see. And then this is in Halo 5. I mean, just imagine this in Infinite. Anyway, I found this to be very, very impressive. It just gets me so excited. There's so many assets from campaign.
We have duplication, so since this is a lot of repeat.
Like, if you were to look at this, right, you wouldn't necessarily be able to say, oh, this is Forge. I mean, there's certain things when you look around, you could be like, ah, okay, I got it. But it's done I think it's done quite well. It's very cool. But you could see things that obviously look like Forge.
So since this is a lot of repeat,
but it's closer than
ever. Duplicating instead of having to go and spawn in a new.
Actually, I want to see real quick what else Night Avenger has done. Let's see. Let's see what else he's done. Cause dude, he does these. He does these. Oh yeah, look at this. This is all kinds of stuff built in Halo 5. Like, these are actual prefabs and whatnot. He was building a machinima called Dead Silent, right? And these are some of the scenes that he was able to make with a 1600 object limit, right? It's pretty amazing, honestly. It really is. The fact that he made these actual telephone poles, these wires. There's so much kit bashing that goes into all of this. You guys would like have your minds blown if you knew how much. But yeah, shots like this. I mean, I think this is what trusses, I believe. It made them look like shelves. This is the quarry. I love the rock work that he did. This stuff just looks really, really good. If you guys know anything about Forge, you know just how big of a deal a lot of this stuff is. Look, you see this right here? Hold on. Where is it? Right here. Those are the early outlines. But yeah, look, none of this stuff is actual like Forge pieces. He had to build all of this. And I think it was him and Wardog and a few other people. But this is the level of kit bashing that community is actually capable of doing. So yeah, this is gonna be cool to see this in Infinite. Anyway, I'm stoked. That was kind of my whole breakdown. Let's check Twitter real quick. Let's see what's going on. There's so many notifications. Let's see. A lot of people agree with the dirt and grime. Let's see if we can find anything else. Do you guys want to watch the Doom video one more time? Have 343 released anything new about Forge? I haven't watched the full video. Yeah, I mean, the thing is they showed this right here. This was made in Forge. This is like a hexagon environment.
Ask you mind showing an example?
And then they showed off this map as well, which was, what was this called again? Curfew.
Right
Curfew.
there, you can see on the bottom center of the screen.
There was a hologram of Blood Gulch in
Yeah, so
Infinite. I hope
basically,
somebody finds
wherever
it
you
and
hover
blows it
your
up into a
cursor,
map.
the
I actually
object
heard that
details
Blood
panel
Gulch was
just
supposed to be
says-
in the
gives you
campaign,
data
but they
about
cut
that
it,
object,
unfortunately.
Right? So we're looking at this wreckage toolbox A.
But yeah, I'll play this one more time. Let me know. Drop a 1 in the chat or drop Doom in the chat or something. Yeah, type Doom in the chat if you guys want me to make this as the very first map that I make, like something along these lines, like a full-on hellscape, something that's just crazy and wild, and you know, because it's either that or some type of Valhalla environment, but I think Doom would be much, much cooler. Compare old Doom to new Doom? Yeah, I'll do that for sure. Yo, I have to say though, this is probably one of my favorite shots right here because of the beat drop. But yeah, I think this is my favorite. Just got to work on that layout. So yeah, so many cool things coming, honestly. This was the first map that I did in, this was like a long time ago. It looks so crap, I don't want to get into that. But another one was, let's see. Oh, so this right here, this was just like a goof around thing that we did. This was a long time ago as well. This is back in 2020. But I want to build a map in Infinite that's just a massive desert landscape where you have the biggest vehicles, the biggest weapons, just the biggest of everything. Sorry, I just hit my mic. And basically just a massive ship or some type of destruction in the middle where people could go in and out of and just fight each other. But you have the biggest of everything, and it's just a massive sandbox warfare. I think that'll be really fun. And we did that in Halo 5, and it was just an absolute blast. It wasn't competitive, it was just chill chaos, if that even makes sense. Two years isn't a long time, but if, yeah, I don't know. Feels like it. So yeah, doing stuff like that, I've grown a lot, so much since then. But these are just so fun to look back at, honestly. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, there's just, yeah, there's so much. Yeah, this is another one. Precipice. Let's see. Does that load up real quick? Yeah, this stuff is just fun to to do. Anyway, that one's loading or lagging. But yeah, and I looked at this video earlier today. I just wanted to do it again with you guys, and it's just so cool because this means that
phased, and then you can see where it's located.
You can actually, with the 7,000 object limit, you can literally take this to such extremes. You don't have to worry about cutting things so much. You still have to be diligent, right? But I mean, with 7,000 objects, you could just do so much already. It's kind of like, yeah, it's gonna be an absolute game changer just for the scale of which you can build things.
And, what the size values are.
So many BTB maps are gonna come out of Infinite now too, because of this object limit.
Yeah, how many different objects Sick Mechanico used here? Yeah,
yeah,
just tons of detail, tons of different objects.
Yeah, he's at.
These lights right here are very cool.
And
I
he's
like
at
these.
like 65% of the budget.
Something like this to achieve this quality of level, I think every
Can you make
forger,
icy surfaces in
that
Infinite?
gets
I'm sure you
this,
could kit bash something that looks
they
like it.
cry
Yeah.
because it gets to a point where they drop their frame.
This is a cool piece right here, actually. I like that.
Games, and they have to start dissecting their map and reducing it.
I'm not sure if. Well, hold on a second. Did he place a light over here that's reflecting down on that, or is that actually coming from this?
We always cried over that. So
That would be
This is
cool.
not the
Oh
case.
no, he has a light down there. Okay.
this is
I
not the
think.
case anymore. Like to
Nice.
get this is amazing. Like he's only at 65 and this very rich environment.
Yeah, this is a super rich environment. 65% of the budget is nuts. I can't wait to see what he does when he actually adds all the little details and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
That's
Cliff,
gonna
you
look,
wanted to show off one aspect that you thought was really
Yeah.
Gonna look pretty
so
crazy.
The thing about Forge, like
All these decals are really cool too that you can place these. I love how he actually placed the what is that? I think that's is that a stronghold? I believe so.
like anyone's asked us in the past was like, how do you make a good Forge map to like take it to the next level? Don't use objects as they are intended,
Yeah, do not use objects the way they're intended.
and use them in a unique, interesting way. So like something that we had a hard time is to
Yeah, one
use
object
small set
mountains. The
dressing
fact that we
Halo
have
5.
an
Now,
asset
the
that
cool
looks like a
thing
mountain
that
is
I
so
thought Sigma
cool.
Mechanic would do is he has a flaming barrel and he has like this looks like trash, but what it really is he's made this terrain piece and shrunken it down to make that trash. Which
Yeah, they looked very, very good.
we didn't have this type of stuff in Halo 5, so to make this scene more.
Just what's so cool is that people will be able to build maps like this and then be able to download them, go onto them, add even more on top of them if they wanted to. It's because I would imagine by the time he's actually done with this, I don't know if he's going to use the full 100% budget. That would be very cool if he did. But if he didn't, then, I mean, people have room to add to this as well. And then with the copy/edit protection that's in Forge, you always know who the original owner is, but you could see different variations of maps,
More
which would be
believable.
super cool.
He's made objects and manipulated them into something different that they're not intended, which I think is really awesome.
Now, I do want to show you something that I did. You guys know the forest level that I made. More importantly, what I want to show you is, before I show you that, is you guys know about this one. This, like, imagine a map, a 4v4 map that had, hold on a second. What the hell is this thing? All right. Anyway, imagine a map that has this type of like atmosphere and environment to it. I think that'd be very, very cool. You have like the ring spine above, you have the Halo ring. I want to build a map after the Zeta Halo experience stuff that I did. I wish we had the thunder sound effects and all that. But yeah. This, I want to turn what I did with the Zeta Halo experience actually into a full-on map. So like this whole type of look right here, this stuff that I did in UE5, I want to be able to take this, turn it into some type of 4v4, or like a BTB type map. Like imagine actually flying through the center of like a ring spine or something like that. That would be sick. What was that ad? I have no idea what that ad was. That was very weird. But what else do we got? So this kind of gives you an idea of what Doom could look like. I mean, dude, compare that. Just compare this to the Doom map that I showed you from Halo 5. And this isn't even with final lighting or anything. This is just something that I did on Breaker. Like, it's going to be crazy. What else we got? A big thing that I want to do is also like a Stranger Things map. That was a really cool looking one. But this is definitely what I want to see. I want to work with some forgers. I don't know if any of you guys are in here right now watching this with me, but if we could all come together and actually build a sick zombies map like this, that would be so cool. Yeah, this would be so awesome if we could actually do this together. Especially with how in-depth the scripting is. Ooh, that would be crazy. Yeah, this was cool. Love this. I built that in like 3 hours. Where's the stream for that? This is it right here. So yeah, started with that. 3 hours later, had this whole thing. So yeah, it was cool. That was a lot of fun. What else we got? Now, see, this is the stuff that gets me hyped. Imagine being able to have some prefabs like this. Like, this is freaking awesome, man. And I think that was only using, look, that piece right there, as well as whatever other piece he has, I think it's like a castle piece or something off to the side, is only, well, first of all, that right there is only 2% of the budget, apparently, which is awesome, because these are pretty unique looking assets. That's 1%, right? So you'd be able to take these and you could build a whole different crazy environment with this stuff. It's nuts. The number one key element to Forge is collaboration. So using other people's stuff, as long as you credit correctly, and as well as they, protect their work, it's going to be cool to be able to see how many people can come together to create some really cool stuff. So yeah, I covered this. People really loved it. Got like 13,000 views, which is nice. And then look at this. Just the way that he's building this. This is a bunch of sandbags. This is the only thing I don't like, is that I wish we actually had like proper rock textures, but it's Forge. At least for now, this is what we have to do, but these are little nitpicks for Forge at the moment. I just think this looks crazy cool. The fact that he was able to make that, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, the collaboration tools are even better, and I hope that they talk about that. I'm sure they will, especially in the file share video. I think that they're going to be doing probably in the next month, sometime in October, I believe, because I imagine they're going to space them out. Now this, for instance, like people love this one. And the reason why I built this one is just to show you, although we don't have water planes, just how much detail and whatnot you could put together to make something that feels believable. The water also, this is using like falling mist or whatever it is. But falling mist, some water effects, getting some rocks in there. And then having some filler mist as well. It comes out looking quite nice. So there is a way to fake water, and the shield doors actually look like water, which maybe was intentional, who knows. But yeah, this was really cool to do. I definitely want to build a map, like some type of BTB map or 4v4 with this type of stuff in the background, or maybe you're like, you're running through this or something. It's like a Forerunner structure in the middle of a Pacific Northwest environment. I think that could be really cool. So imagine this in a 4v4. All the maps that I've been making have essentially just been tests for aesthetics to see if it's possible, for me to make it, and then I'll place it into some cool block out that either I or someone else makes that I just art. Fake water in my video game, unacceptable. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this, by the way, doing an avatar map, dude, can you imagine having a map that's, oh, I crashed apparently. Can you imagine having a map that, well, hold on one second. Where, I gotta show you guys how I actually did the lights on this. Unless someone steals my idea, which I don't doubt. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I was already placing them before then. Oh, so what I did, okay, so here's how I did it. If you want to make like bioluminescent lights, you place down some foliage, and then you take a light. How to do it? It's just what I'm doing right now. It's funny, I'm talking about it in the video as well. But yeah, you could just place a light underneath and then it shines through. So use this pretty sparingly. Don't do this all over the place. But this is kind of how you make those bioluminescent lights. Lights under the plants and you're good. And you can make them as bright or as dim as possible, just all depending on how close you have it to the plant. And then you come up with something like this, which this is pretty rough. Like when I actually make maps and whatnot, dude, we're gonna put so much time and effort into just all the details. But a fast track for becoming a teacher. Yeah, so this is Avatar. Oh, I think they're gonna release a lot more as time goes on for sure. Imagine a 4v4 or some type of race map with this type of aesthetic. Once again, not a gameplay space or anything. I was just throwing stuff together to see how it would look. And to see if it was even possible. And it looks like with ferns, it's definitely possible to have like some bioluminescence. This right here is some bioluminescent water. This is just by stacking like 2 or 3 shield doors together with a like a turquoise color. Yeah, dude, Avatar music is the best. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for the video. I mean, looking through all of this
And that's
stuff,
one of those
it's just
terrain pieces.
so cool, man.
Real.
Is a game engine.
Shout
that
out to
ships
Mr.
in
Michael.
the
Shout out to
Halo
Cliff.
Infinite
Shout out
free-to-play
to
product. It'll come out
Commander
this
Colson.
November.
Shout out to
And it's basically-
Duquesne,
it's a mode where
Artur.
you can design maps,
Literally
you can
all the
design
guys on the
modes,
Forge team. Sean,
or
Forge
just new
Labs, which is
experiences
Sean.
that you wanna play
Um,
with your friends. It's
I'm
super
probably
powerful
forgetting people, and I'm
little
so
game
sorry,
engine.
but
And what
I know
makes
I'm forgetting
Infinite's
people.
version
But
so special?
anyway, everyone that went into
well,
actually
we've-
building
We've
Forge and
fixed a lot of
testing
things.
Forge and whatnot,
We've improved existing things.
you guys have
based on
done
community
amazing, and
feedback.
I'm
We've added a
super
lot of new
hyped to
features
actually
that
get my hands on
that we
it
wanted and the
officially.
community wanted. So it's really nice
But yeah, Avatar: Way of Water. Looking forward to that as well.
package now.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, dude, all
really,
of
really
this.
clever. So he like used effects
Is this like a what is this? This is a satellite dish.
and like I think it's satellite dish and like
Yeah,
there's another
satellite
object
dish.
for the base of it. But
Anyway,
yeah, so that's been really useful. So like if you make something
this
unique
has
that we
just
don't
been
offer
awesome to
in
see
our
officially.
objects.
I
you know,
only
let's
saw
say I made this
Avatar on
race car.
the first
I can
time
build a
for the first
prefab
time
that, and then
because I
go
was
save it
looking
for
for stuff
future
to watch
maps. So
while
if
I
I want to make
forged.
another city
Oh,
map
really?
or give it to someone that might need to use it for their map,
Infinite
that
Forge
is
is
now
T505
a
says.
great feature that we have.
Was the
So it's
version
a
of Forge they
cluster of
showed
objects
today
that you can
different
then
than the
save
leaked one
as
you
that
used? If so,
group,
how? Oh yeah,
and then
that's a
share
much
with
more
your friends.
updated
Right.
one. The
Yeah.
the
Yeah, you can
lighting
save it
works.
locally to your map,
Textures and
or you
materials
can
and all that
save
are
it to your
significantly
files
better.
to use it in other
There's like a,
maps,
I mean,
and
saving
or to share
actually
it with your
works
friends.
in
Or
a
share it
official
publicly.
capacity.
Yeah, so
It's
you
the
make an
official
awesome
build, and it's
gingerbread
much
house
further
that everyone
along
uses
than
on the map.
what was in the
That's right.
campaign
That can
build.
just
I
copy it
think that
if you
campaign
make
build
your
was like
prefab. Very
way
cool.
earlier in the year. A
We
build
also
from
on
way
the radio
earlier.
menus have, a little bit of.
So yeah, this is
what else do we have on there?
significantly
Yeah.
We've got a node graph.
better.
We've got the build
But
menu.
anyways, I
and
think that's
we've
going to be
got
the
quick
stream.
save.
How long did we stream for? I
Nice.
think it was
and
like
the build menu. Don't
yeah,
want
like
to
an
dive
hour and
too
22
deep
minutes.
in on
This was
that,
fun. Thank
but
you guys so much
you
for
can now
being
kinda
here.
customize
Subscribe
what
if you guys
aspect
haven't
of the
already.
Forge map you want to build.
Right.
Maybe this
so
weekend,
we've inherited a lot
tomorrow
of
I'm actually
features
gonna go
from
to
the
like
Space
this
Engine, which was the
Halloween
foundation of
event
Halo
or something.
Infinite,
I know it's
and
pretty early for
so the
that,
way
but
lighting and audio
Orlando
and
and
mesh and
Busch
reflection
Gardens put
volumes
on
work
like
is
this
you have to build
whole
that data.
event, so I'm
And
gonna go with
where you
a
go
buddy
to build that
tomorrow to
data
that.
is
It's
the
gonna
build
be
menu.
cool.
We'll explore
Scripting
that,
is the next video,
at a
which is
later
going to
date,
be
won't we?
amazing.
Yes, we will.
Because you're
And
going to be
we'll
able to see
also-
just how
we
far you
did
could
have
actually
node
push
graph,
it.
I saw you had popped
But
up there. We've got
yeah,
that
if I
coming
get
up
any
in our
time
next
this
video when we
weekend,
talk about scripting,
I
and
will
we did mention
potentially
just the
do
fact
another
that
Forge
we've got so
stream.
many inputs.
So,
that's why we decided
stay
to go radial
tuned,
menus. We have
subscribe,
multiple
and thank you
control
so
schemes
much
for
for
control,
being here.
correct?
Yeah, I think
Halo
we
VFX,
have
guys, I don't think you
4
understand how
different
big of a deal
control
that is.
schemes.
The
We've got a
the
default
legend,
one,
the
we've got a
animator,
default all
the
type of
animator.
switches, the up and down
He's gonna
buttons,
sub
'cause
to
that
me.
was some
That's a
concern
huge deal,
from
and it's
some
probably one of the
people.
best ways to be able to end
Then
the
we've got
stream. So thank you,
Legacy
man. I
one
really
that kind
appreciate
of
that. My
is
heart
as
is
close
full,
as
and
we
I'll
could
join the
get to
VC in a
Halo
second.
5,
So
control scheme as we could.
I'll see you guys,
and one
and
more, and I
thanks for
forget
tuning in.
which one it is.
But,
Peace.
But plenty
But-
of options.